Cheers, my thrifting friends. It's Diane. In the Goodwill parking lot. I have a little bit of time before I have to go to work, and I figured I would take a really quick browse and see if I can find some really cool treasures. I'm looking for stuff for the store, and of course things for myself if I get so lucky. And I'm looking for all the trends, like the garden items, any bird related items. Those are really hot right now. Anything summer related. So yeah, let's head on in, see what we can find. Thrifting gods be with us, and I will show you what I get when I get home. All right, well, here comes the best part of the thrifting, just the anticipation of what we're going to find. I cannot say how lucky I feel every single day, and I'm sure anybody else out there who loves thrifting feels the same way. But to be able to make a full-time income on thrifting, reselling, and consigning is such a blessing. I count my blessings every day. This is so much darn fun. It's insane. I love it. All right, let's park the cart and see what treasures we can find today. First thing I'm seeing are these super cute, I'm going to say tea mugs, because that little elephant piece I think is meant to hold your tea bag, but they can be coffee mugs too. You can put a spoon in there. They were so cute, but they were way too expensive. This pottery is super awesome, but unfortunately, again, price tag too high. That's about what I would sell it for, so there's no room in there for me. These little fish are interesting, trying to figure out what they are. Are they salt and pepper shakers? Are they just figurines? I couldn't tell, but they were cute. This mug is amazing, but again, at $5.99, there's no room in there for me. These wraparound mugs are super popular. I've sold them many, many, many times. This is the perfect color. It's super cool artistic texture. Everything is right except the price. So I had to leave that. This magazine holder got my eye. I wasn't quite sure. It said as is on it. They've been really good about marking stuff with flaws. I couldn't see it right away what was wrong with it. So it was a good price, and things like this definitely do sell. People grab these things for towel holders actually more often than not, but I ended up leaving it because I couldn't see what was wrong with it. And that's a cute basket. I mean, I just like the flower on it. I'm looking around for, oh, this basket actually was awesome, but that price tag is way too high. But baskets with handles like these are very handy if you're a gardener like me, when you're picking produce out of your own garden or carrying things from upstairs to downstairs. Super handy. This, I liked it. I mean, way too expensive. It's not anything special, but I just thought it looked really Victorian. And of course, that always catches my eye. Pretty fancy Victorian things. But I was just playing with it. Another nice basket. I was hoping this was a Lagenberger, but it was not. So I put it back. Another piece of pewter here. This was an interesting mug. I think if it had been plain, I would have gone for it. But the design on it, I wasn't quite sure if it would have any appeal. It had like a big dragon. This I was convinced is Roseville pottery. I don't know. It had no mark on it, but it looked very old. I definitely grabbed it. I'm always on the hunt for silver or really nice silver plate. I have to correct myself from a recent video. I don't think silver plate is worthless in general. I think the condition that I normally find it in the thrift store makes it impossible to resell it. It's usually all worn off, in very bad condition, and there's no bringing it back to life, unfortunately. That's really what I meant. If you can find really nice, like new condition silver plate pieces, they're definitely sellable. I hope to find some. This was interesting. What the heck is this? It's missing its cover, or the knob, I think, on the top, but it was $19.99. What? I have no idea why. I mean, I didn't have time to look it up, but it was unusual. Like, what is this for? What do you put in this? I have no idea what that's for. I don't know what it looks like. This obviously heats up some kind of liquid, maybe a teapot. I don't know. It was unusual. It was cool. Another nice piece of pottery, another way too high price. I mean, that's crazy. $7.99. No one's going to pay that for that. That's crazy. Always hoping to find some treasures. Look at this disco ball. Oh, but does this bring back nostalgia in the day? Who was around for disco music and partying? Me. It was fun. This was another nice piece of pottery, and this one was actually signed. Joyce, you did a great job, and it's only $3.99, but I can't sell it with the color that it is. If this was green or blue, I would have grabbed it, but this was not a good color for resale. Is this black glass? Is it? Oh man, could it be old black glass? That's a no and a no. It's new and it's actually dark blue. You can sort of see in the camera there. It was a very dark blue and they're brand new, but that's okay. I had a fantasy for a quick second that this was old black glass. So I've been making sure I check out the clear glass section just for any good cut glass pieces, since I have got a pretty nice collection going. So I'm going to be looking to see if there's anything beautiful and old. This was very cool. So sad it did not have its cover. These are one of those vintage refrigerator leftover keepers, and they're super valuable when they have the cover, and that one was missing its cover. So sad. This could have been cool. Unfortunately, it's a reproduction. It's flash glass. Would have been so cool if this was an actual old piece of fused color glass, but it was not. And this wasn't that great. It looked and felt modern and new. It had no shine to it. It wasn't that heavy. But the trivet underneath, I think these glass, I don't know, they're like serving stands or trivet stands. They are pretty. Sometimes I'll find them and I think they're really nice. They're just an elegant way to put something on there. I'm not quite sure what they're meant for. I think they're meant to be like a trivet. This was really pretty too. $5.99 was not a bad price for that, but it didn't feel or look that old. It was just pretty. I couldn't find any matching candlesticks, but what's this? Ooh, I think this is Port Marion. $5.99 for a stack of 3. Yeah, I think it is. Let's see if it's the made in England ones. Yes, it is. It's not the made in China ones. So yeah, these have some value. I mean, they are definitely used and worn. The pattern has definitely faded. But a lot of people grab these and use them as underplates for water for their houseplants. So I always grab stuff like that. I can always resell those. Pretty teapot. It looked old, looked interesting, but it says antique reflections, made in China. So that's more like, yeah, we're going to leave that. Saw these interesting plates. I always look at theme plates just to see, what the theme is, if it's collectible. This is the New Jersey Turnpike. I would think if we were in that area of New England, it would definitely have an appeal. This one, however, has a lot of appeal because it's the Mohawk Trail. So souvenir of the Mohawk Trail, Massachusetts. It's got some really interesting landmarks on it. So sometimes people collect these and they display them if they have an old colonial home, especially if they have a national registry home and they like to collect Massachusetts or Connecticut memorabilia. I'm leaving it, but I definitely thought it was cool. For a second, I thought this might be a nice piece of artwork because it did have a really nice frame, but it was $7.99, and I don't know, when I turned it back around, it looked kind of amateur-ish or just not professional enough, so I did leave it. This caught my eye because I like to grab really professional prints. This is called Solitude. It's okay. It's way too high priced. It would have been better if they had centered the print better. The bottom part of the print where it actually says what it is being covered by the frame, so that's not a sign of a good professional job. This is usually collectible, but it was too much. It was $11.99 for that wood log holder. This was beautiful. I absolutely loved it, but it was $14.99, so there was no room in there. I wish that had been around the $7 price point because I would have grabbed it for sure. This was interesting. This kind of looked almost like one of those Ming Chinese vases. $11.99, that's not too bad if that's something you collect. Looked like it had a nice lotus flower on it, but I didn't really want to grab it for resale. This had chips on the rooster, so that was a no-go. These brass candlesticks, they said as is, so let's try to find the defect. And I think I spotted it. Yeah, the little handle is missing on one of them. Too bad. And these plates were pretty. So let's see, why are these here? And they were priced at $9.99 each. Oh my. I don't recognize that as being anything super expensive or collectible. So I don't know who priced those or why they're so expensive, but they'll probably just sit there. Off to the furniture. One of my future favorite things. This was priced at $25. And I thought it was so cool. It was, I think it was meant to be like a coffee table or a game table that you could extend. These were very popular in like the 30s and 40s because people had tight spaces to live in. So they wanted furniture that they could open up and then close back up again because of the tight spaces, smaller homes. But yeah, that was a really, really pretty piece. I loved the bottom of it. I thought the legs and the style of it was really elegant. And yeah, I thought that was a really, really neat piece. This next piece is another one of my favorites. This is timeless. It can go in a farmhouse. It can go in a more traditional, elegant setting. $15. What a great deal for this drop leaf table. I can totally picture this refinished and looking absolutely beautiful. I would love to refinish furniture in my future selling career as a retired person, and it's hard for me to pass up these pieces now. This caught my eye. I don't know why I love this lamp so much. I mean, at first glance, it looks, garish almost. But as I kept looking at it, it looks like it belongs, it really looks like it belongs in the kitchen of a French chateau. I think that's why I love it so much. It looked very French chateau to me. It was super heavy. This thing was like a piece of concrete. I mean, it was heavy. And it just caught my eye, and I just thought it was so cool. I don't know. I just wanted to keep looking at it, and I kept picturing it by the fireside in a French chateau. Am I crazy? Chateau Lalande, this lamp belongs in your kitchen. It was $19.99. Cool. I liked it. I didn't want to leave it. I don't know why. Kind of crazy. It had a matching shade, too. Yeah, it was a one of a kind. Very French chateau. This chair was stunningly beautiful. I would love to have a full set of a chair similar to this. They only had one, but I was just admiring it. It was so beautiful, so elegant, just classic and timeless. I absolutely loved it. I would love to have a full set of chairs like this. Another great find in the furniture department. $11.99. This is such a classic, beautiful piece. I don't think it's necessarily old. It's maybe vintage, from the 80s probably, but you could refinish the top of this and this would be just a classic, timeless side table. Absolutely perfect. I really, really liked this. Polish pottery is always collectible. Somebody had donated quite a few pieces here. But I was looking at this again. So yellow was the half off color. So this would have been $25. This is a piece of Fenton black glass that I have seen before at this store. It's now half off and I still don't want it. It's because of the white painting on it. That's what ruins it for me. So yeah. But anyway, the Polish pottery, somebody had donated a whole bunch. So I was just curious to see what the price would be. And this was $51. Oh my. Oh my, Goodwill. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, this was pretty. Nice casserole dish. This was $31. So people are not going to be picking these up. These are definitely too expensive. So we left those. Anyway, we are done shopping. We've got our bag of goodies and I'm on my way home and I cannot wait to show you what I got. Hello, I'm back from work and I wanted to show you my thrifting haul. I had some really good luck today. I was really surprised. There was a lot of vintage pieces in there, a lot more than usual. So I'm super excited about that. My first find is actually a pair. I found a pair of these milk glass vases with like a grape design. And each one was $5.99. I thought that was a really great price. So here's the tag. Now I did go ahead and remove one of the tags so that I could see if there was a mark, and unfortunately there's not. But when I did look these up, when I was in the store, they actually do sell for a pretty penny. So I thought, well, $6 a piece is a really good deal. And I think I'm going to keep these. I mean, I think they would look beautiful on a dining room table on each end, or they'd look great up on the mantelpiece right behind me, you know, like one on each end. I think that would be another great place to use these, but I really loved them. I think I'm going to keep them for myself. And yeah, I think they're really beautiful. I think the milk glass collection of mine is growing quickly since I've decided I really like it. And I have definitely found some really pretty pieces lately. Next thing I found were these really pretty plates. These are Portmeirion plates. I found a set of 3, and all 3 were taped together, and they were $5.99 for all 3. So I'm really surprised about that. I think that's a really great price for these. So these have the really older back stamp. So I think these are the made in England back stamp. So there was this design right here, and these are worn. These are not the these look like they've been definitely used and worn. They don't have a very super vibrant color way on them because of their use, but they're still very beautiful, very pretty for people who collect this pattern. And here's this one. So I thought these were really gorgeous for $5.99 for 3 of these. I'm going to sell these in my store. I know I can make a good profit on these, and I think they're absolutely lovely. I love the Portmeirion look, this botanical look. Each pattern always like kind of features like a butterfly and a flower, which I think is really lovely. I think that is so charming. So yeah, these Portmeirion pieces were just sitting right on the shelf, 3 for $5.99. That was a great deal. I don't know what it is about me and cut glass lately, but I have been finding lots of beautiful, high quality pieces of this. I don't know what is going on, if people are just not wanting this when they're cleaning out estates, if families aren't interested in keeping these pieces from generation to generation. But this is definitely a beautiful older piece. It's super heavy and it's definitely cut. It's not pressed. I couldn't find any maker's mark on it, but it's just another lovely little small crystal bowl. I love putting, or crystal vase, I should say. I love putting little flowers in these, or, I mean, I think these make great little vessels for like pens and pencils too, you know, like a really elegant thing on your desk. I think it would really glow up your desk to have pencils and pens and pencils in there. Or makeup brushes. I think that this is such a lovely addition to somebody's vanity table. If they wanted to put some makeup brushes in here, I think that would also be really pretty. But I think I'm going to sell this one in my store. I have quite a good collection going on in here. I can show you what I have actually. I've added quite a few pieces to it. Well, I've hauled them all and showed you. So let me when I'm done over here, I'm going to turn you around and show you what I've collected so far. But this one, I think I'm going to sell. It is beautiful. I'm sure someone's going to absolutely love it and see it and want to add it to their collection. As promised, here are some of the pieces that I have been collecting in my new curio cabinets. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, I bought these curio cabinets recently from that Victorian estate. That's one of my videos a couple videos ago. I answered a Facebook ad and these curios were sitting in this gorgeous estate. But anyway, these are some of the pieces I've picked up recently. That flat oval cut glass vase and the round rose vase, a smaller one, and then that beautiful, this one back here I picked up quite a few videos ago. My store, I own a consignment store and it's located next to a flea market. And that beautiful piece of cut glass right there, it's a double reflection. Let me see if I can try to get it without the mirror, but it's only one piece. But it's a really beautiful cut glass vase. And of course, here's my one piece of Waterford that I have. And these are down here. my crystal candlesticks. So yeah, lots of space still left in here. I've just started, but I think that's a really great start on a cut crystal collection. So this caught my eye right away when I saw it. It's very muted, but it instantly gave me the vibe of like Roseville pottery. It is not marked. Unfortunately, I don't know if Roseville marked every single one of their pieces, but it's not marked that I can see. And it was only $3.99. The inside of it is this green color, but it's just the design along the edge. If you can see what I mean, it just reminded me of like a Roseville pottery vibe. I don't really know what this is. If any of you recognize this out there, definitely let me know. But I just thought the design of it, and it definitely looks and feels like it has age. So I don't know what this is. If anything at all, it might just be simply an old piece of pottery, you know, that's just really pretty. But to me, it looks like the type of pottery piece that you put like maybe a cactus in or a succulent. It's kind of a shallow kind of planter, or you could just use it for your keys or obviously anything you really wanted to, or just to decorate your bookshelves. But yeah, I'm just real curious what this might be based on that pattern and design. It sure caught my eye, and it sure does look old. So I'll be curious to look into this a little bit more, do a little more research, and figure out what this might be. And this was just a cute little piece for the store. It was only $2. And these always sell really well. And they help me merchandise little plates when I have collections of little plates or mugs. So this is really just a teacup and saucer holder. I think that's what it's originally meant for. But it's, excuse me, it has such a really pretty filigree design. You know, it's new. It's just a really fun modern piece that I can use to display teacups and tea saucers or anything, you know, anything that I can hang or stack up here. It's always fun to display. And this is a really pretty color. I really love it. So I can't wait to put it in the store. All right. So this next piece, I kind of just have to show you with leaving this on the table because there's so many pieces to it and it's so big, but I cannot believe my luck. I found this Lazy Susan. It was $11.99, and I definitely looked this up online, and the comps on this online are very, very profitable for what this is. It has all the original. I didn't even take off all the masking tape yet from the Goodwill, but it has the salt and the pepper shaker. It has the middle plate there, the little container. This is the Lazy Susan piece that it's on. Underneath, that's a toothpick holder. So yeah, it has all of its pieces. This is one large piece that doesn't have a divider, and then it's got two divided pieces, this one and that one. But I mean, it's in excellent condition. It's the coolest thing. Let me see if I can, actually maybe this piece might have a maker's mark on it. I haven't completely taken it apart because of the masking tape. You can see though, some of the paint definitely has worn away on the edges there. Yeah, so it says right there, there's the maker's mark. Made in, can't read that, USA. Made in something, USA. California. I bet you that says California. C-A-L-F maybe? So made in USA. And it was such a fun piece, especially for this time of year, for summer. I thought that this was a great find, really fun, especially if somebody has like a yellow and white deck color scheme. This would be such a super cool, nostalgic, mid-century modern piece that somebody is going to discover in my store and absolutely fall in love with it and have to have it. We're going to price it to sell, but it's a really cool piece. All right, so we've gone multiple times to the free wood pile. So I'll show you what the bed looks like. These beds right here, John has prepared like earlier this year, late last year, with lots of leaves. And there's another one. So we have these really long raised beds. Here's our greenhouse. So yeah, so these are ready to go. with everything that he's going to plant for the year. And then this is the new bed that we put together this year. This is what we were going to get all the fill. So that was highly composted wood chips, and it was free from our town wood chip pile. So as long as you're a resident, it's right next to the highway department, and you're free to take that. Luckily for our town, they also offer us free salt and sand in the wintertime. That's an amazing benefit. And this is another raised bed. It needs to be weeded, but you can see we've got the cinder blocks right there defining it. And then that's a third raised bed above that. So we've got quite a few terrace beds because we live on a hillside. This is a very steep hillside going down to the road. So once you're up here, it's not that bad, and we just terrace it. There's another bed up there. These are all John's fruit trees. Now, we don't nearly, not even close. We're way too much into the woods, as you can see. We're, completely private up in the woods. We don't nearly have the extensive orchard that my parents do. They have a lot of acreage on their farm, but we've got a few fruit trees. So there's one fruit tree. There's another, I think that's an apple tree. There's an apple behind it. Going up the hill, this is a really tall, I think this is an apple tree, or it could be a pear tree. That's a nectarine tree right there. And then we have like a lot of raspberries and berries growing along the fence there. We used to have a lot of chickens. We don't have chickens at the moment. It's a huge commitment. I don't think people realize how much work it is. We had them for about 10 years. And the last episode where they got poached by a predator, we just didn't replace them at the moment. So that's our big shed over here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what it looks like all raked out. It's nice and full, so it just needs topsoil now, which John will add as he plants the vegetables. Give you a quick peek into the greenhouse. I think it's funny, we keep our little owl right here. I don't know if he really scares away anybody, but we're trying to keep the snakes. I know. Don't freak out. But when you live very rural, snakes are a real thing, and snakes love rocks and rock walls, rock areas. So we have had snakes that have built like little nests underneath these rock steps. So anyway, we keep this guy right here so that they don't come into the greenhouse if there happens to be any. And we're talking just garden snakes, nothing serious. But they are around. You have to be careful. But these are all the plants waiting to go into the raised beds. We've had a very, very, very cold spring here in New England, so we're not seeing the growth we should. These are not nearly as big as they should be by this time of year, but it's been a really cold spring this year. Unusually cold. We keep our little records, and it's been significantly colder this year for spring. So, but there they are, waiting to be planted. That is everything I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed thrifting with me, picking up some really pretty vintage pieces and how I use them in the house. And oh boy, here's Malcolm. He's my shy boy. He decided to not run away this time. Okay, well, until we meet again, happy thrifting, and I'll see you guys real soon with another video. And thank you so much for subscribing, liking my videos, sharing. It's really appreciated. Take care.